Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It is Kaya and Aaron, but we have a very special guest. She's kind of an Instagram live superstar, and she's a talk show hostess, basically, because that's how I feel about her lives. We were blessed with having a chance to go on, I think a few months ago, our friend Chelsea from OhNoBravo. How are you, girl?
Thank you for having me on. What an introduction. You guys are just like fully feeding my delusions. Yes, I am a talk show host. Yes. Wendy Williams, watch out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you got the hot topics of Bravo, which is the hottest topics of them all. And also just like your style in general is just like a bunch of just posting whatever the hell you feel like it. And like, we love it.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, my brain is fully broken, just like Jax Taylor. I need the ace bandage. So I'm glad other people are along for the journey.
Okay, so we're going to get to know Chelsea a little bit more later on in the show, but you know, we have a few things to cross off our list first, and we are going to start with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Those who listened to our last episode with Ryan Bailey, we kind of went into what we predicted would happen. At the reunion, you know, there have been some disputes on the drama. Some people are saying that it's not nearly as dramatic as the rumors said, but you know what? In my head, it's going to be chaos. So I don't really care, especially because Andy said that they were thinking about making it 4 parts instead of 3. So,
oh my God, the drama.
Yeah, I'm fully for it. That like extends just reunions for like a month long, and that's fine with me.
Don't you kind of feel like Andy Cohen is kind of like a parent of a child, though, that like he's always going to tell us it's great? Like if my 3-year-old presents me with total garbage, I'm like, oh, what a beautiful painting. It's so perfect. You're so talented. And I feel like that's how Andy is. Like he's always telling us Beverly Hills is like better than ever. And I'm like, you're a liar. You're a liar, Andy.
And you know what? I think that it's fine with me because I go in every time he dukes me every time. I'm like, oh, no, you guys. Andy said that this season is like no other with every single show and season. And I think that I would rather that than him saying, well, this is kind of toned down. It's kind of like a filler season or a filler reunion. Because I just like to play with the what ifs. I'm like, well, what if these two get into a fight?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if he were to tell the whole truth, would we really want to look at it?
No.
Yeah. It's like
he has to continue to lie.
Yeah, Andy takes to Twitter and is like, just don't even bother, guys. It's bad. It's real bad.
Don't watch
it at all. This whole season was a waste of time. Sorry, guys.
To be honest, we're sorry. Okay, but what we do want to talk about, considering, you know, the reunion, is the fashions. The looks have been revealed, and let's just say it's not at all what we expected. Like, it's not terrible, but I feel like for Real Housewives of Potomac, they could have stepped it up a lot, even with just like the set. So what we're going to do is, Chelsea, if you have your phone near you, can you go to our profile, Bravo While Black, and scroll down to where we posted all of the reunion looks. We are going to rate the reunion looks from 1 to 5.
Okay. Are we ranking them, or we're just like we can have multiple bad ones?
Oh no, yeah. You can have like everyone 1 to 5. So okay, we're gonna start off with Giselle, which personally I feel like Monique and Giselle were the front runners, and when Giselle is a front runner, that's kind of odd. So I give Giselle's look out of 5, I give it a 4.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, I think, okay, this is where like for Giselle, if we're looking at her style, it is like a 10 out of 5. Like this is for her, the bar is so low that I'm like, good job, Giselle. Right. It does give me a little bit of like, I'm pretty sure somebody in my prom group in 2007 wore this dress. I'll give her like a 3. Like, I think for her, it's good. But if I'm comparing it to other franchises, like I could never imagine Dorit or Erica Jane walking out in this.
Yeah. I definitely feel like, I don't know, with all of them, I was just expecting something better.
More.
I do like that Potomac wears the same color.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was excited when I heard what the set would be like, but just even looking at the set, it kind of looks kind of cheesy. Kind of like a backdrop at prom that you pay the $30 for and you give them the ticket.
Not even the corner in Barnes and Nobles when they have the cafe.
Okay, next we have Robin. A lot of people actually really loved Robin's look. For me, I give it like a 2. I just feel like the shoulder pads and then it just goes straight down. I don't know. She kind of looks like a caterpillar.
Yeah.
A 2.
See, I liked this one. I would give it a 3.5. Like, I think she looks stunning. I think Robin is just, I mean, this whole cast is stunning, but I think Robin is definitely, I think this is a good look for her. I love the form fitting. I love the like satin look. I like it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And now because I've seen Robin like really do it up.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that Giselle and Robin, they're so gorgeous that they don't really put too much thought
That's probably
into like what they're wearing because they know that they have face and they have
the pretty people
eyes.
Privilege.
They
Don't have to worry about. I'm so glad though that Robin didn't break out one of her Party City wigs for this occasion. Like, so relieved, honestly.
I think she read the tweets and everything about her Tatiana wig. Next we have Kern, the Grand Dame. You know what? At first I didn't love it. I thought that it was too much going on. Like you have like lace and you have like the V cut and you have a strap and you have one leg showing. Mm-hmm. But now that I reevaluated it, she kind of ate them up. Like just for this reunion compared to her castmates, I'm actually going to change my mind and give Kern a 4.
I'm going to give her a 4 too. I think like she is stunning. She has had one of the biggest glow ups on Bravo of all time.
Especially. And like I remember in season 1, like when they were like at the pool talking and Giselle had that terrible wig and Karen also kind of had a terrible wig. So now Karen is like a style icon, especially in her confessionals. You know, my favorite look of Karen's is that Cinderella-esque blue that she wears with in her oh my god, it's so gorgeous.
Actually, all the confessionals have been really good this year on Potomac.
The and I'm like, where is that energy at the reunion? Like the reunion is like, especially because you had a freaking in-person reunion. Tired of what? They literally filmed the season last year, so what are you giving Karen?
I'm gonna give Karen a 5, and here's why. Because I feel like she's the highest rated for me as far as what I see. I don't necessarily like the hair with the dress, but I definitely like if she changed her hair, that dress would be like popping. I like it a lot.
So next we have Monique. Obviously, okay. So here's the thing about Monique: her hair always done, outfit always like amazing. I feel like this is just a Monique that's, you know, filming an event and not a reunion Monique, even though she did well compared to her co-stars. I just feel like she could have like, I don't know, kind of stepped it up a bit, but I still give it a 4.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 4 too. I mean, her body, again, a person with pretty people privilege. Like she is always stunning. She's always done up. Like it is a stunning, like she just looks stunning because she's always stunning. But I think again, she's the most consistent. But I think again, like I'm comparing to her other castmates, but if this was on another franchise, I don't know if I would give it a 4.
Right. What do you think?
I would say a 4 too. I feel like Monique's here with Kieran's dress.
Because you love bobs. Aaron is like a bob connoisseur. And Monique did the damn thing with her bob, but she always does the damn thing with her hair. So yeah, a 4 is fair. Next we have don't laugh. We have Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, beauty and the
4 degrees.
Thank you for bringing it home for me because I was really dragging it.
Oh, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to hear me sing, so I'll leave it at that.
Wendy, I don't completely hate it. I just don't feel that it was appropriate.
You don't completely hate it?
No, I don't completely hate it because she looks like Aurora. She looks gorgeous, but I just don't think it was she looks like Aurora. She does look like Aurora. Or wait, no, Belle. I'm like, what? She looks like a Disney princess is my point. But I just don't think that you need to look like a Disney princess at the reunion. Like, I don't know. I give it literally a 3.
Wow. Okay. My goodness, that's a hot take. Somewhere at home, Brittany Couchy is like, I love that dress. Oh, yes. I'm gonna have her at my next party. I love that dress.
Brittany is like, can we get remarried, Jax?
I give this a straight up 1 out of 5. This like Dr. Wendy is such a beautiful woman. I actually really like, she does take fashion risks. That 80s prom confessional look is tough for me, but she really can turn it out. And for her, this to be her first reunion look, like, I just can't imagine a world that I, at my first reunion, would see that dress and be like, yes, that's the one.
That's why I was like, it wasn't a complete dud for me. I just don't feel like it should be at the reunion. What do you think, Aaron?
Where do you think it should be? I'm sorry. Where do you think this dress should be?
I think it should be at a themed event. Like, if you know how they have themed events, like even in Married to Medicine, I think they had like a prom event or like,
okay, yeah.
If they had a themed event, I feel like she would literally be a 5 out of 5. But for a reunion, this is definitely not okay.
I hate it. It reminds me of my grandma's tablecloth, like the 90s ones back in the day. But also because it looks as if she kidnapped Belle and took her dress. I see the dress, but I don't see Belle.
I see Belle. I see a Belle of the Ball.
So I'm going to give it a 2. I'll be nice and give it a 2.
You don't have to be nice. Chelsea straight up gave her a 1.
No, because I've been giving Wendy a lot of shit.
Wait till I give out my 0.
Who earned the 0?
Okay, well.
Okay, I just swiped and we see who earned the 0. Candace, this was just a complete miss. Like, she has this bow and then she's wrapped in like, I don't know what material it is. And then it's a split, but what she is serving is face and skin.
And like torso. Like
collarbone, baby. Like a model, like you can see that collarbone. So I fucking hate the bow 100%. But as just for her face, I'll give her literally a 2.
What about the hair?
The hair, I'm not impressed. Like the braid isn't like put together enough to me. So just straight from, face and skin, she gets the 2.
I give her, okay, this is not my 0. I give her the 2.5. I think she looks stunning. I like the hair. I wish the bow was not there. Like, she definitely is going to this reunion like, I'm the poor innocent little girl. I've got a bow.
She's like, I am the gift.
Yeah, I am the gift. Yeah, it's not good. It's definitely not good, but it's not my 0.
I'm just shocked that this isn't your 0. Aaron?
So what that means is
you didn't give your
Aaron's doing the math.
I'm like, oh no. With Candace, I'll give her a 2. I'll give her and Wendy both a 2. Candace, it would have been a 1, but she is giving face, so.
Yeah, like she's serving face and collarbone, which I respect.
A 2.
It saved her. So we are now arriving at Chelsea's 0, and that is Ashley Darby.
And that's what I just figured out.
So please explain why she got a 0.
Okay, if you think that Robin Dixon is a caterpillar, this is like mid chrysalis. She's emerging as a butterfly, and it is not going well for her. I love, like, I've been pregnant 2 times. I love dressing a bump. I love like showing off the bump. She is also a stunning woman, and like for her to choose this dress is just tragic. 0 out of 5.
You know what? I respect it. I respect it. And you gave really good points. And I feel, yeah, like my biggest thing is that pregnant women are so adorable. She's at the stage where she's bigger. So, you know, her tummy is like pronounced and it's round and it's able to be fawned all over. You know, she was pregnant at the last reunion too, I believe. Right, when they were in white, and she killed it.
Yeah, she did.
So with this, I don't understand why it has like the wings. Like I want to see her literally extend her fucking arms and see the design. And then I am not a fan of the hair just swooped to the side. Like it's like she kind of just twisted it with her hand and just left it on the side. I'm not a fan of it, and I guess just because of the belly, I'm gonna give her a 1.
I'll give Ashley a 3.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a 3 because out of all the women, she at least had an excuse, which is she's pregnant.
Right.
Maybe like she had another dress and the dress didn't fit, or I'm just gonna cut her.
So you're just straight up making up a backstory to justify your putting it a 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I am. So okay. I'm gonna give Ashley a 3.
Okay. And what do we think about like I didn't upload it to my profile, but there's a picture of them under a bunch of umbrellas, which I don't know if it was I don't know why they're under a bunch of umbrellas. The set, I give a 0.
Yeah, the set is tragic. They definitely are trying to do the callback to the Monique umbrella, which I find a very interesting move to be like, this whole season's about how we shouldn't resort to violence. Let's just totally be like, tee hee hee, remember that time that Monique strangled Robin with an umbrella?
Wait, she didn't strangle.
I'm like, I don't remember that scene.
No, yeah, they definitely almost got me. Yeah. But then I was also hearing that it could be from like Portugal, like they have an exhibit or something where there's a bunch of umbrellas. Either way, like it was just very odd to see them all posing under the umbrellas. I hate the set. I hate the fashions. I think out of all of them that like Andy was dressed the best because he had a yellow tie and he looked great. I don't know. It just wasn't what I was expecting. But you know what? Since the fashion wasn't all that good, I feel like maybe this means that the reunion was. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I guess it's the opposite of like a Beverly Hills reunion where they're like, well, we came dressed to perfection, so we don't need to give you literally anything.
And the thing is, those bitches from Beverly Hills, we only saw them from like halfway up. It wasn't until like Instagram that we saw the whole look, and they still killed it. Like, honestly, like all of them, even unfortunately Teddy.
The only thing I can think of is maybe they just didn't get a budget. Maybe they just like, I just don't know.
I don't know, because look, New York had their in-person reunion. So what?
Were they aware that this was going to be in person? Was this all like a on-the-spot thing?
They knew it was going to be in person because they just did the New York one in person. It's just that I don't understand. Like, if they needed help, they could have asked us, the certified Bravoholics. Like, I have a bunch of ideas. I have my own green screen and everything. You know, I could have literally went on like Fashion Nova's website and picked out a look for all of them, and it would have been at least a 4 each. Like,
maybe next reunion.
Yeah, next reunion, maybe they'll consult me with the fashion. Me, Aaron, Chelsea's also here. So Bravo, if you're listening, you know, we come cheap. Just give us some tickets to BravoCon and we can make it do what it do.
Ask, believe, receive, honestly.
Okay, so that's all we wanted to talk about with Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, we saw the episode. I don't really want to go over the episode because I don't like how they did Karen. Like, Karen's picture, like, there was nothing wrong with Karen's picture. You know, it looked like Karen, and she was actually kind of like serving face, and she was serving cheekbone, and honestly, jawline, yeah, and like her hair was done, so I didn't really understand
what the problem
was. Like, that was just rude as fuck for no reason.
And they were acting as if they looked better, like
Giselle,
Wendy.
It was just weird.
Like, how are you gonna have the Potomac women on your website to sell the product and not have the Grand Dame. Like, come on, Robin.
Yeah, all of them. And she went on Wendy Williams though, and I will say she read them for filth. It was definitely, Wendy Williams called it out for like ageism, which I feel like it was, because there was nothing wrong with the picture. Wendy's picture wasn't the best, and they were like, oh, it looks great. Like, it was weird. So, Karen was like, she called out Giselle for her Every Hue Beauty is completely discontinued, which, by the way, is true, because I've tried to find her Every Hue Beauty online and it's out of stock everywhere. So it's just weird. Everything's weird. Aaron, is there something you would like to add to it?
I just feel like I'm excited for the reunion. I don't want to recap that episode.
Yeah.
I don't like how they treated Karen.
It was just a kind of a rude episode.
Yeah,
and then
I felt bad. It was like, after I got done watching it, I was like, why would they do that to Karen? Like, it was just a
completely fucked up.
And you could obviously tell they were upset with her because she didn't side with them and join their clique with the whole Monique thing. So,
and I miss Monique. Like,
yeah.
I would honestly,
Monique in a while.
Yeah, I honestly would rather see Monique and Chris instead of like Giselle and Robin teaming up on Karen's looks, which there's nothing wrong with her looks. I mean, for goodness sakes, Rihanna is a Karen stan, and I think that
honestly
says a lot in itself. But moving on, we were blessed, #blessed, because, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City revolves heavily around religion in a different way. We were blessed with 2 episodes this week, and some people were saying that they were scared that the next 2 episodes wouldn't be as good as the premiere, and Aaron made a very good point. There was just so much to address and wrap up that it can't possibly like go from amazing to shitty, because it's continuing drama.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like Episode 2,
I loved learning more about Whitney, because I think she didn't really get a fair shake that first episode. I think there was so much to unpack and tell the audience about in episode 1 that Whitney kind of was just like there. She got that like weird Bauer new. Yeah, like we didn't really get to know her. So I liked learning more about her story, her background, her coming to terms with leaving the church. I really think it's super brave and important that they're talking about addiction in such a frank, real manner. That being said, I will not stop making fun of the dead crow on that man's head. I can both be rooting for him and also be rooting for him to get a new hairstyle.
And that was the most shocking thing about it, is that like, okay, that's Whitney's dad, she was in an affair with her boss, and now they're married. She kind of left the church. But then the most shocking thing to find out was that this man owned a salon. With this like scene boy, Fallout Boy, like 2008 mop on his head. And I'm just like, what the fuck is really going on? Like, he was actually in charge of other people's head, and he was damn good at it.
I just didn't know what to think when I first seen it. Like, I just looked up at the TV screen and I'm like,
I remember reading the captions because it said my dad actually owned a salon and he taught students and like all this stuff, and I'm like, wait, he did what?
I did hear a saying back then. They say like the best dressers have the like worst hairstyles. Like, because they're so busy doing hair that they don't have time to do their own. So, like, maybe.
But, I mean, this is, like, a conscious decision. Because, like, not only is it, like, a mop, but it's completely dyed the blackest of black.
Yeah.
Like, it's a choice kind of thing.
And then
I'm not convinced that he's not using just straight up, like, car oil or, like, shoe polish. Like, there is a deep darkness to that hair that I don't think a out-of-the-box dye can give you.
Yeah, like it has to be.
It's like pure black paint, like every day.
But yeah, with that being said, we can make fun of his hair because it is a central storyline for me personally. But I love the fact that he was both of them were so vulnerable about what happened to his life. And, like all started from, I guess, the divorce. And then he started using drugs. Then he lost everything. Now he's, you know, sober, getting sober or whatever. And on top of that, I just think that, like, not only is it important for viewers to see, but it's also important to see, like, since we're going with that whole storyline of religion in Utah, since it is so big, that he's willing to, you know, go to Mary's church when she's not Mormon, they're Pentecostal, right? Yeah. And Whitney is like, if anyone can put their hands on him, it's just like, a deeper conversation just about faith. Like, in that moment, he's looking for guidance, he's looking for God, and, you know, we're all...
That was a very spiritual
coming together. Yeah, it was very spiritual. And I think it's interesting to, you know, kind of get to see Mary in her element when they do go.
I was fully ready to join Mary's cult after that scene. I was like, yep, sign me up. I will be there. I will pay for your odor gland removal. Like, what do I need to do? Because I thought it was so sweet. And I thought it was such a sweet scene that Meredith came to support, and that they were like, just really like, they were so supportive of Whitney's dad, of like, whatever you need, wherever you need to go to feel loved and accepted, we're here for you. And I think that that's just such an important thing, especially like in 2020, to like remember that we all have those commonalities and we can all be there for each other, even if we don't share those specific beliefs with each other. Like also, the underlying thing is that we're all human beings, and like we should just look out for each other and support each other.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. Like, I haven't really seen anything like that inspirational with spirituality.
Yeah, probably. I don't think we've ever really seen that on. Have we?
Like, there's been times I think they went to church, but I don't think nothing like that though.
Yeah, not one of the actual housewives being like a.
Yeah, this was a different vibe than like Tamara being baptized in a pool. This was like this was a very like spiritual.
It's my son's christening today.
They were in the whole
blah, blah, blah. But it was just it was nice to see. Okay, and then also speaking of Meredith, we saw her and her husband like come to terms with what's going on in their marriage, and that was like really raw and open too, because I feel like, I don't know, when people think of people divorcing or separating, they always automatically go to who cheated or, you know, like finances or something like that. But it's just like, sometimes people genuinely, like, when you have kids, you grow apart. You have kids and a career, you grow apart and don't even realize how it's happening until you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm unhappy.
Are you unhappy?
Well, I'm single, so if I'm unhappy...
No, I mean that's like the usual question that's asked. It's like, you know, a mutual conversation that's
yeah, in general, like, I'm not happy. What did you think about that scene?
I feel like Salt Lake City's MO is to just like drop these bombs and be like, oh, by the way, this is happening, because they literally, like, I was kind of expecting it to be that typical like pacing where we kind of see them struggling, we see them, you know, drifting apart, and then maybe at the end they announce they're separated, but they literally were just like, so who did you tell that we're separated? And I'm like, well, you, sir, are saying it on national television, so actually you're the one saying it.
And I'm like, wait, you guys are separated?
I feel like it was so interesting. So I watched it with my husband and we had totally different takes. I kind of viewed it as like, I was like, oh, he's like really wanting to fight for this. He wants her back. And my husband was like, oh, this dude is a monster. Like, this, watch out for him. And I was like, uh-oh.
Really?
So yeah, like he got really bad. Why does he think that way though? He said like he feels like he's like a control freak. Like even the whole phone discussion, he's like, I feel like there's something that hasn't been said yet. And I think I agree with him on this. Like, her doing this show is probably, she's making that choice for her and not for them.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of the whole phone thing, I definitely feel like I was on Meredith's side. Like, just don't go through my phone. Like, we're adults. We're clearly not in the best place. Like, even if I'm not doing dirty on my phone, I just feel a type of way about someone just even feeling like they need to go through my phone. Like, it's my phone. Mm-hmm. But then there are some people who are like, oh, if she's not doing anything wrong, then what's the problem? It's more of like the principle for me personally.
I agree with that. I feel like if we are as close as we say we are. Even if we're going through like a tough space or whatever, I'm the type of person, I like my own space. I like my own stuff, and like, don't go in my phone.
Yeah,
and
like
I don't
grown
really
ass
need to
people.
go in your phone either, unless it lights up and it's like, you know.
Wait, so you don't want them going through your phone, but you're like, can I have your phone, please?
Yeah, but I wouldn't ask. You know, it's one of those things that you kind of just do on your own time. You don't really ask. You just kind of go for it.
But what if he wasn't out? Okay, if this is a different situation and he didn't ask her, how would you feel about that?
Then she really shit it and she messed up, because it's like, you should have blocked your phone and you should have had your phone on you at all times.
So wait, you're saying you don't believe in people asking to see the phone, you just want people to take it?
Yeah, I just feel like if you want to know something that bad, realistically asking someone isn't going to show them. You know what I mean? If you're cheating on me and I ask to see your phone, obviously you're going to do what you need to do. You're going to delete the text. You're going to make up whatever excuse you have to make up.
We don't know if she's necessarily cheating on him. It was just he wanted to see her phone. What if she's not cheating? What do you think about the phone situation?
Yeah, I think if a relationship gets to the point where you feel compelled to see your partner's phone, whether it be asking or snooping, I think that you're like in a danger zone. I always just think like, but on the flip side of that, I do think, you know, like sometimes if like my daughter's doing something cute and my husband's phone's like right there, I'll like pick up his phone to take a picture. Like, I think that that's like different. But if I were to do that and he would be like, wait, I'll take the picture, I would be like, excuse me, sir, what is on your phone?
Yeah, I'm like, now I want to see it, because you shouldn't have acted like that.
It's like, that's just like a crappy situation.
It is,
honestly, and I feel bad for her, because it kind of does make you look like you're hiding something, like, even if you're not, you know, because you're just so stern on like, no, you can't see my phone. Is it really that big of a deal to like end a marriage over someone not seeing, you know?
But then they're also in a place where they're allegedly separated, so that is where it gets blurry. Like, if you're married, then it's like you should be able to go through your partner's phone. But if you guys are separated, it's like, then what are you looking for? Because you're doing you, I'm doing me.
Unless you guys are debating whether or not you want to get back together. You're kind of in that space where you're seeing like what happens. And
right, but I feel like if you find something and we're separated, I'm well within my rights to be talking to whoever the hell I want to talk to, because we're separated.
It's the Ross and Rachel. We were on a break
type shit. Yeah. So like, there's just so many different elements to it that I feel like in this situation, I feel like she definitely didn't need to give her his phone, because they're talking about being separated. Even if she wasn't doing dirt, maybe, because me personally, if I'm not cheating, I'm definitely like, and we're in a bad space, I'm definitely shit talking you to my friends. It's like, I fucking hate this dude. Like, he's getting on my fucking nerves.
He sent me a coffin of flowers. Like, that's not romantic. That's very eerie.
Exactly. And it's just like, I don't want you to see that either. So there's so many different things that you just don't want your partner to really see.
But how do you think he would react if he were to see that? Like, do you think that he would respect her for telling the truth and just like, I don't know, being
I feel like no, it would be straight up another argument, and it would hurt whatever progress we're trying to make, or it would definitely affect what we're trying to do. So like, I'm not going to go through your phone and you're not going to go through my phone, and we're just going to figure out what we're doing. Like, this is just between us. Like, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, fuck off, it's my phone.
I feel like that's what you were getting at.
So then we also see a little bit more into Heather and her situation, which was, you know, she was like, her husband had bank. They were on top of the world. Also, in her family, they haven't had a divorce, and she opens up about being one of the first people in her, you know, line or her generation to get divorced. And that definitely was, it's a hard situation. Like Jen Shaw was telling her, it's just like, dude, you shouldn't have to stay just because, you know, of your religion. You know, you guys weren't happy. She said it straight up. I married him because he was Mormon, right? I think that's what she said. So it's just like, you shouldn't have to like just suck it up and try to like make things work, because that's your life, dude. Like, you're gonna look back just like she's looking back right now. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, a lot of divorced people are like, you know, if I never would have met him, then I wouldn't have my kids, and, you know, my kids are my focal point, which I understand. But at the same time, it's like, you don't need to show your kids, especially your daughters, that you have to stay just because you know, you're married.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. It's you can also show your kids like it's okay to leave if you're not happy, and it's okay to choose a different path, you know.
But it sucks because he ended up leaving her.
Yeah, it sucks because she definitely didn't choose it. I think she's definitely at the start of her new journey, of her new chapter. And I don't think she's necessarily like, she even says like, I would go back. And she said they never loved each other. She says she doesn't even know if she's ever been in love before in her life. Like, I just feel like she doesn't quite know her worth yet. And obviously, like, she's a housewife now. She's famous. Like, this is going to be a whole new chapter for her. And I hope we get to see her kind of develop that self-worth and self-confidence to be like, oh, I am worthy of love, and I am worthy of having a life outside of this loveless marriage. And I feel bad for her because it very much seems like this wasn't her decision, and she would go back to like the way it was if she had the chance.
Exactly. It sucks. But maybe, you know, Housewives is coming just in time to show her like, yo, you're that bitch, because, you know, she has a fan base that love her. And obviously with this, you know, she's going to be traveling outside of Utah even more so than she did before, just because she's in the Bravoverse now. And, you know, she's definitely, if they have a season 2, Heather and Jen, honestly, I feel like all of them, they're going to get asked back. Yeah. So, you know, there's going to be more opportunity for her to meet more men. And I mean, I know this is controversial, but she said that she likes black guys. So maybe she needs to find her a nice chocolate, a Mr. Chocolate man, but not Giselle's husband. She needs to find her a single Mr. Chocolate, and she needs to go for it, even if it's just dating.
I feel like they should have Portia from Housewives of Atlanta come on and like set her up with a whole bunch of men.
Yes. Can you imagine her doing?
And I want Jen Shaw to join in.
Yes, like have a dating show for Heather Gay. That'd be amazing.
We'd love to see it.
Honestly, I would love to see it because she does. I've said this on another podcast, but she gives me like Michael Scott, Dunder Mifflin vibes, like where she like, you root for her. She's so likable, but like every confessional, I'm kind of sitting there like, okay, where's this sentence going? Where are we going with this, Heather? And then I'm like, okay, we missed that one by like, we skirted by that thing. Yeah. So I really like her. I find her so likable. And I think, yeah, she's going to be a fan favorite for sure. She already is.
Mm-hmm. Especially because after like Lisa not knowing her and then her being like open to talking things out and wanting to squash it and like move forward from that.
I think it's hilarious because like she was so offended by Lisa saying that, you know, she doesn't know her, but Lisa is more offended that she got a thumbs up. Like, what the fuck is this thumbs up? Like, what?
Okay.
Do you feel
like
if someone sends you a thumbs up, they're shitting on you?
Yes, 100%. I have been having this, it's so funny. I've been having this argument with my mom for years. Like we have had this conversation years since emojis came out, because to me, it's the equivalent of like a K period, or like, you know, when you purposely end a text message with a period to be like, bitch, like that is, I would send my mom something, or we'd be in a group chat and like somebody would send like a super long message and my mom hits them with the thumbs up. And I'm like, Mom, that is so rude. And she's like, no, I mean it, like, got it. And I'm like, no, that's literally like, get it. Like I can imagine somebody cutting me off in traffic, but I have my kids in the back seat and I'd be like thumbs up,
like, thanks, asshole.
Yeah.
I think that it also depends on, you know, it's always context, I feel. And since Lisa's message was, what did she say? She's like, I'm excited, or
I'm so excited to see you.
I'm so excited to see you. And she's like, but at the same time, it's like, you guys are having a conversation about how you just said that you didn't know me. So what do you want me to say? I'm excited to see you too? Like, no.
On top of that, she might have been busy or doing something. I know sometimes I'll like a message. I won't even respond.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. So
I think the fact she said it was a FU, but it was so funny. I had Amanda from It's All Happening with Amanda on my live last night, and she said like that we've had some of the most Mormon fights ever. Like we're literally fighting over a thumbs up emoji. Like Heather is so pure that she's like not even going to send the middle finger. Like the most vicious she's going to be is sending the thumbs up.
You know it gets serious when she sends a thumbs up. As far as, okay, so Heather and Whitney are cousins, and they both kind of have a thing with Lisa. So it's definitely going to escalate. And we are seeing something again where in the kind of like the Kenya situation where someone is kind of like slandering your business on a show. I understand but I don't really want to say I understand both sides. I think that it was very ungrateful for Whitney to accept free tequila and then complain about the service that she got. What do you think?
Free tequila is free tequila.
Right.
Like I would have no complaints. I mean, if it's not good, I'm not gonna write you a whole essay or like get on TV and be like, hey, your shit's not good. But I'm just not gonna drink it, and I just go about.
But her problem was that it wasn't even like the quality of the tequila. It was that I think she said that they ran out, and then the bartenders were drunk or something like that. And it's like those bartenders. We recently were blessed enough to with Church of Bravo and That Bravo Life. Shout out to them. They set up a Zoom with Lisa Barlow, and Lisa couldn't be nicer. She stayed on the Zoom with us for 2 hours, and she kind of explained that this was a contracted, they were contracted bartenders, and also the situation wasn't what Whitney explained it to be. And now it's like she's putting out there on national TV that not only did I not send enough free tequila to her, but also those people that were hired weren't good bartenders. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of like fucked up.
Yeah, because if that was the situation, she could have definitely pulled her to the side to tell her that. Like, if you were that worried about her business, or just like if your experience was that shitty and you need to express it,
don't say it on camera, because it's
the only devil's advocate thing I'll say for that is because they filmed the wedding, maybe Whitney was thinking they were going to show the drunk bartenders already, so she was going to bring it up, but she totally lost me. I could have understood if she was like, thank you so much for the tequila, even if she wanted to talk about how they ran out. Like, we ran out so quick because everybody loved it. It was so good. Everybody was like lit, like it was great. And then she could have said, I know that you contract these people out, just for your heads up, like they were drinking, they were getting drunk on their own supply. Like you might not want to use them in the future, but like the tequila was great. If she had said that, I totally would have been on her side. Because like if I was a business owner, I would want to know
that's
the people that I'm working with.
Useful feedback, but
and it's not slandering her business. But then she got into the and we ran out by 6. It's like, okay, she gave you, like, even if she gave you 1 bottle, you should say thank you so much, it was so good. We it kind of made it seem like she was like saying she was cheap or something.
Yeah, and what Lisa told us is that they were working on like a home bar. They didn't have any bar backs. It was just like a few people there doing all the things that you would do in a restaurant with free tequila. So it's just like, it came off very ungrateful.
It did. And I hope that they squash this and move past it, because I don't want this to be the thing that makes us dislike Whitney.
Because I like Whitney. Even though her voice, I love her voice. I can't do her voice, but her as a person, I was listening to It's All Happening, and you guys were like, Whitney, even though she seems to be like this clean cut, oh my God kind of girl, she has like a tattoo, so she does have a wild side. At the end of the day, she did leave her husband and go with this older guy that was her boss, so she does have this different side to her. And then now that we've gotten to know how everything went down, and we gotten to know and love her dad, now I just want to protect her dad, hair or whatever, that's our baby.
Yeah, I think that it's so sweet. I love her relationship with her dad. You can tell, there are those girls that I was a daddy's girl, but you can tell that they have that real sweet, that's how I am with my dad. We've always been so close. So I can only imagine if my dad was struggling with something like that, and I could I would do anything I could do to make him better or to help him on that journey. So yeah, I really like Whitney, but this one I was like, You're kind of wrong.
Yeah,
for this
you're in the
one,
wrong
Whitney.
for that one. And hopefully, you know, she is able to make it right on camera or whatever.
It was kind of sad for me though, because she's like, what did I do? Like she gave me those kind of vibes. Like she wasn't really sure. I don't think she came off the way she came off.
And then on top of that, like I think Lisa kind of threatened her to like expose that they were swinging. Like, oh, you're gonna like fuck with my business? Let's talk about how you guys are swingers. Like, wait.
Let's talk about that tin can line of communication your family's known for. Like, what?
Like, what does that even mean?
And I've seen that, and I seen somebody on Twitter say it was like Tanya with the leg situation.
Yeah. And then like, Kenya comes back with like the cookie lady. Insane. As far as so Meredith, but Aaron has a hard time.
I do not. Okay, certain scenes, Lisa and Meredith really confused me. I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
I know who Lisa is in Meredith only because Lisa has like an edge to her. She has a certain je ne sais quoi, and she's a little bit more relatable because she's always like, okay, we're going to Sonic, we're going to Taco Bell. I need a Diet Coke with light ice. Like, she's more relatable.
That's what made me like realize that was Lisa.
And then with Meredith, like for me, the thing that makes her stand out is that she's the one with the son who's an icon. She has Brooks. But so we see a little bit more of Brooks, and I'm like, he's an icon. He's still an icon, but I just feel like the whole thing with Jen Shaw, and he's like, oh, I saw her vagina, and you're making me and my sister so uncomfortable. And I'm just like, and then it's like, he doesn't need a confessional, like, at all.
I liked the confessional. They keep saying stuff online where Meredith's like, you'll see more. There was more that happened. I'm like, what happened? Did she just like lift up her dress and like fully show the vulva? Like what happened to make that reaction? But you know, like I really liked him episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 was a tough one. I kind of feel like he overplayed his hand. Like he was giving us hilarious son. Like I want him to be the Greek chorus. I want him to be that like funny person that's saying our thoughts out loud. And it was kind of like it gave me the same vibes as when husbands try to jump in the mix, and it never goes well for them. It never goes well when a husband jumps in the mix. And when he was like saying, I can't believe my mom would like hang out with this. I'm like, well, this is her castmate and she gets paid to do so. So don't take away her filming opportunities, Brooks.
Exactly. Like you go and you work on your design and you continue to be an icon that chimes in sometimes. We don't need you. I personally don't need you in a confessional. I don't need you asking why you're hanging around that woman that's acting like that in your house until we see something that warrants that. But just from this episode, that's where I'm like, okay, stop while you're ahead.
Stop while you're ahead. It's very reminiscent of Dorit for me, of your pretty little puss. Like, no, Brooks, we've done this before. We've had Pantygate before. Please don't make us have another Pantygate.
It's funny as hell. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think he got carried away.
Yeah, and
I think that's what it's all about. It kind of reminded me of when you're younger, you know, and when your mom's friends come over and you might talk some shit or say something, and it's like you realize you went too far. It's like that's how I felt. That was the moment.
But I also feel like I realize what he's trying to do because he's 21 years old. He's going to be on a major network on Bravo, and he has a confessional. So he's going to play up the drama because he knows that he's coming, you know, he's going to get a bunch of followers. He's already an icon. We already follow him. We're obsessed with him. But also it's like, don't get ahead of yourself because you're not a housewife.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of your own mom. Yeah. Like your mom is the reason that the cameras are in the room.
Yeah. So just stop.
Calm down.
Okay. And the last person that I want to talk about these new episodes, we got to see a little bit more into Mary M. Cosby's life. Like Jen Shaw says, Mary M. Cosby. She says the full name. And I don't know. I think that this is kind of a hot take. I don't hate her. Like I thought I was gonna hate her, but episode 3 especially, not just with like the whole church thing, seeing her in her element or whatever, but it's just her at home as a mom and a wife. Although she said a few things that really creeped me out, like she was like the whole the story of like how they didn't have sex for 2 weeks because she told him that she was on her period and then they had sex. It was kind of weird. And then she said another thing. She was like, okay, my mom picked out, not my mom, my grandmother picked out my dream guy. And I'm like, oh, like it makes me physically cringe. But then seeing her with Rob Sr. and Rob Jr. telling him, you know, he has to go to private school, you know, you got to do what mama says. And just, you know, her being a mom, like it humanizes her more, even though I'm trying not to think about the fact that she married her grandmother's, you know, husband. It humanized her more.
It was just creepy when he called her Miss Mary. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like...
Why?
Oh, for me, that was the creepy part of this whole thing.
What?
No, it was just knowing, like, that was once her grandma's man. Mm-hmm. And then just that energy, it was kind of like a romantic energy. Like, you know what I mean? And it made me...
And you know what else was kind of weird? It's that I thought the falling out with her mom would be about her choosing to marry her grandfather. Excuse me. Instead, the falling out was she wanted to be the one to marry the grandfather.
I gasped.
Was that
and then
not...
to see Robert Sr., I mean, I know age comes for us all. We're lucky if we're one of the ones that get old, but like the man is not like a prize. I wouldn't like pick him out of a lineup to be like, oh yeah, me and my mom both want that man.
Like you and your mom are fighting over your grandpa? What?
It did humanize her. It was good to see her side of it. I was happy. I was actually pleasantly surprised that she was so open about it. Of like, yeah, this is a weird situation. Yeah, I had to pray on it. Like, yeah, I had to do I'm going to continue making the Grand Mary jokes because she is her own grandmother, but I'm doing so because it's so dark that I kind of have to make jokes to be able to digest it. Because if I start to think too deeply into the Mary Martha marrying her grandfather, it just is too much for me. So I have to keep making jokes because it's so disgusting.
Yeah, it's like you gotta laugh before you start crying.
Yeah, like I mean, she was young too, and then for her to say she was like handpicked, it is very. I mean, I love watching a cult documentary, and it was very like, it's very, very icky. It's dark.
Yeah, it's something that you wouldn't think. Like there have been Real Housewives scandals, but there has not been. Like I felt like I was watching Sister Wives for a minute. Like that was the weird part about it.
Or like a weird episode of 90 Day Fiance, like a really
fucked up.
Yeah. Because every time they show the scenes of her and her husband, like I love the scenes where she's interacting with the other women, but when they show her and her husband, it's this awkward feeling that I get. I'm like
that's
waiting for something bad to happen or something really creepy to happen, and then the scene just ends, and I'm like, oh,
we made it through.
We made it through. We did good. We like her.
She gave birth to her own father.
Literally. Like it's just like connecting the dots.
I don't want to think about that.
Connecting the dots. It just goes too deep.
I don't want to think about
But she's
that.
comfortable with talking about it. So I don't know. I just want to see how this whole shit plays out. About like,
I find her super likable though.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first episode, I was like, wow, I really like her. Because I just felt like she wasn't the type of person to take shit. Like she said what she said.
She said that she smelled like hospital.
And she stood by it, and I really respected that, especially when she called the lady on to clarify what she
said. And then she
dismissed her and sent her away. I was like, okay, I really...
Big dick energy, for sure. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I'm so excited to see more of Salt Lake City, and it sucks because they're just going to air. If you guys weren't able to see episode 3, they're going to air it again next week. And then, you know, even though it's Thanksgiving and we should be thinking about Thanksgiving, I'm still thinking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but whatever. Moving on. Southern Charm, the regular Southern Charm, it was pretty fucking boring, but it just goes to show that Craig is an asshole. This dude literally thought, he pushed that conspiracy theory that Corona is caused by 5G. And it's like everyone is taking it seriously. When Shep is taking something more seriously than Craig, we know that we're at a problem. And it just makes more sense on why he went live with Tommy Lauren, because two of a kind, honestly. Like that solidified it for me. Like that solidified it.
I feel like you guys set me up. I feel set up by this because I have not been
I want to know your thoughts. That's why I told you watch it, because we don't really want to like recap it. We want to know what you think about it.
Okay, so I have not been watching. I'm not like boycotting or anything. I just honestly, like I saw that Thomas Ravenel was going to be on episode 1, and I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Not today, sir.
By the way, he's talking shit about the show, even though he allowed them to film after talking shit about the show.
Did you see that he said like, oh, I didn't know we were filming? I'm like, sir, you were mic'd.
He literally said, oh my God. Anyways.
Like you shoved that mic pack down those tiny little white pants. You knew damn well you were filming. Yeah, I felt set up by this because I have been trying my best. I posted that meme of that like boy that's like holding his breath so tight all of his veins are popping out. That's how I feel every time Craig is brought up, because I just want to be like, remember that time he went live on Instagram with Tommy Lauren? Like I just like, and I think I've made my point. I'm gonna let the mouse go. But this honestly, like to see the start of coronavirus through Craig's eyes is an experience I never want to experience again. Like I understand, I know that all of us in March, I was one of the people, I was like, oh, we get a 2-week break, schools are closed, and then everything will be fine again, because we've never been through something. So I can give him something there that like, obviously we didn't know it would be November and we'd still be here.
I can understand him not taking it seriously at first, but him continuing to go to Whitney's house after Whitney is like, no, dude, it's serious.
And living with Patricia, like, of course, like, yeah, seeing everybody kind of slowly come to the realization, like, oh shit, because we all experienced that, right? Where we're like, we slowly were like, oh,
we're in denial, like, and then we're like, this is serious.
But then the fact that, of course, it was like Craig and Catherine who are the ones that are like not even by the end coming to terms with it.
She didn't know that school was shutting down, and she's the mom of 2 children. How the fuck? Who was taking care of these children?
The nanny forgot to tell her.
Like, what?
Yeah, so 2 notes that I took. One is Patricia saying that Madison deserves Budweiser. That flashback, I was cackling because there are so many layers to that, of her just unironically being like, Madison deserves Budweiser.
Because she meant it. She was dead serious about it. She doesn't deserve grapefruit beer. She deserves Budweiser.
Which I've had that beer. Here I go again, shooting myself in the foot with another potential beverage sponsorship, but it is not good. It is not good.
It didn't look good. It didn't look good.
But the other note that I took is, when did Shep get Owen Wilson's voice? Like, he sounds, like, at one point he's like, we can throw some righteous parties. And I'm like, all I expect him to be is like, wow.
Wow. He definitely, I don't know if it's a part of New Shep, or is
maybe Owen Wilson is doing voiceovers.
I feel like he's trying to be a bit more youthful, because he clearly has a girlfriend in her 20s. And he's like, what do the kids say? What do the kids say these days?
Oh, bunga, dude.
So freaking funny. Like, for Craig to relate it to the 5G towers, and then he's trying to go to Whitney's house, and then he's like, oh, I wanted to plan something, and I wanted to have this and that, and it's just like gross. Like,
but I mean, also, like, why do we continue to be surprised? This is the same man who wouldn't get a flu shot because he feared that he would have to walk backwards for the rest of his life. Yep. Like, this is not the first time.
I love that they included it. I love that they included it. I don't know. That was a boring episode, honestly. Nothing happened except they were realizing that Corona was real, basically, you guys.
Has anything ever been happening? Since
not since Thomas Ravenel left, really. And that's the reason why they kind of should have just let the show go. Because Thomas was the center of the show. Thomas was a piece of shit. And once he got accused of sexual assault and settled in court or whatever, that's it. And then on top of that, it's like Cam left. Cam was the voice of reason. She was the narrator. Naomi left. She would put Craig in his place. It's just no point.
Well, they had the only thing that made it worth watching, like, because it used to be actually one of my favorite shows because I liked that girl power element. It gave me Summer House vibes of like, I could see my female friendships watching them. And it was fun to see kind of the girl group take on the good old boys. But now it's like, okay, cool. So they're gone. So we're just like watching all the villains.
Yeah,
Shep is the good guy. Like,
Shep is the good guy, because usually I would be like, you know, how he's kind of scared. He's straight up scared of Madison. So I'm like, yes, Madison, get his ass. But then now knowing that Shep isn't the bad guy anymore, it's kind of like, I'm just waiting to see what happens with Pringle and Madison. Like, is he going to steal this girl? Like, what's going on? And then Austin confronting Patricia. So that's what is going to keep me watching. And then obviously shit's about to go down with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, which is the sole reason that I decided to come back to this show. So
yeah, because it definitely seems like it's not even the emoji thing that's going to get addressed. It's going to be like other perhaps problematic stuff. That's what the preview looked like. I have to say, I hope that Ryan Bailey is not listening to this episode because I think John Pringle's hot. I said it.
You know that we're going to now take this bit to promote the show. And you know what?
I'm set up again. John you guys Pringle, set me up again.
Listen, no, it's okay, because I literally said it. I said it here and I said it on Ryan's show. Mm-hmm. I was like, John Pringle is hot. And he's like, why do you think he's hot? And I'm like, well, it's not just because of the way that he looks. Like, he's not an ugly guy, but he comes from old money. Mm-hmm. That's my thing is, and he runs in the right social circles.
He's got deep pockets.
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn. So it's just like, that's why John Pringle is hot. And I stand by that. And I continue to stand by that. And also, I feel like he's really funny. I like humor.
So I went to college in a beach town, and he's like an older gentleman sitting at the end of the bar that 19-year-old me would have like sat next to and talked up so that he could like buy me drinks all night. Like, he gives me that energy and he'd be into it. Like, he knows what it is. He's going to be buying this drunk bitch shots and then we're going to go on our separate ways and be like, bye.
That was kind of like him. Did you see the part, the episode where it was the last episode where he was like trying to talk to the younger girls and he's like, you guys are in your 20s, right? I'm not even gonna guess. And he's like, what's your favorite band? Justin Bieber? You like Justin Bieber? And I happen to like Justin Bieber. I'm in my 20s, so I'm like, well, he's not wrong, but it was just stupid. And then one of Ryan's points was like, he was doing that on purpose, so the girls are like, oh my god, look at this clueless guy. Like, that is kind of his game of not having game.
Honestly, it works for me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So this is the thing. This is the thing. John Pringle is hot in multiple ways, because also my other point was that he's fresh meat. We've had new women, but we haven't had new men. The last new man that we had was Austin.
Yeah, the human equivalent of mashed potatoes, Austin.
Right. It was just like a younger Shep. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, seeing the whole threesome thing with Madison is just like, even if I wanted to have a crush on Austin, I couldn't.
After you see that weenie tug scene around the world, Madison,
you're being fucking crazy. And like, they find a way to work it into almost every episode. And it's just like, I know the scene by heart. So now we want to get to know you in a segment called Getting to Know. Oh no.
Oh.
You want to ask the first question?
So, oh no. What made you start doing lives?
I started doing lives back in March at the start of the quarantine. That was, again, when we were all clueless. Me and Monty were DMing. I'm a Gemini, so I'm just a total attention whore. And I was like, I haven't left my house in 2 weeks. Can you imagine not leaving your house in 2 weeks? And so we did this thing at the time. We were like, we're putting the social and social distancing. And we thought it would be like a once or twice thing. And then, you know, naturally the world would open up again. But then, of course, it didn't. And so now it's become like low key one of my favorite parts of the week, that I just go live with other people that love Bravo and shoot the shit.
It's so nice to talk shit about Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say, like, your live was our first time guesting on anything, because we didn't think.
Yeah, that was something new to us.
Yeah, we didn't know that other people wanted to talk to us.
So once we seen that, we were like,
oh,
okay.
And then we like guested on someone else's podcast, so we were like, okay, so this is actually a thing works. Now.
That was bold. Then I didn't realize that was your first guest spot, because like going live is like added. You know, it's live. There's no editing.
We were shitting. Bricks.
Okay, so you always talk about Dr. Bald, and you know, you have to know your Instagram posts and your lives and things to know who Dr. Bald is. So can you tell us, our listeners who don't know Dr. Bald, who Dr. Bald is?
Sure. Yeah, I have a lot of inside jokes. If you guys are listening and I'm ever posting something that you're like, what? Slide into my DMs, because I want everybody to be in on the joke, but there are a lot of like things that have totally gotten like out of control. So Dr. Bald is my husband. He's not a medical doctor, just a man that went bald at 22. I call him Dr. Bald because, you know, pre-pandemic, we would be out we would be out in public, we'd be out in a bar, and like without fail, I will find him in the corner with like another balding gentleman, and people approach him because he went bald so young, and he's like completely clean shaven, like he's like Mr. Clean style shaved. So I think there's just a like energy about him that's like, yes, I'm bald, I'm beautiful, and I'm here. And so like men will find him and be like, okay, so you're a bald man, can you like take a look at my hairline, like how many years do I have left? And he'll give his prognosis of like, you know, you got a couple good years left, like live it up, grow that hair. Or he'll be like, well, you know, it's time to shave. It's time to let it go. So he gives so that's why I call him Dr. Bald. And I kind of said it in passing as a joke, but he has kind of become like a fan favorite. And now he's doing some like Patreon episodes with me because he has like really funny hot takes. So he's just a delight, that Dr. Bald.
And who is the official OhNoBravo correspondent?
So that is my sister-in-law. She was one of the only people, actually to this day, like a lot of people in my real life don't know about this little venture of mine. She was one of the first people that I told about it, because when she started dating my brother, that was like one of the first things that we realized we had in common. And it's like, you guys know, it's so refreshing when when somebody's like, oh, do you watch Bravo? And there are the people that like watch Bravo, and then there are the people that watch Bravo. And she started going into detail about like Kim Richards and the bunny. And I was like, oh, I've met her. So she is the person that I call her the official OhNoBravo correspondent, because she's the one that, you know, if I were to ever start a podcast one day, she would be my partner.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. And what are her favorite Bravo shows?
She literally watches everything. Like, you know how everybody always, she's going to be so mad I said this, but you know how everybody asks like, who the hell is watching Tardy to the Party? She.
We asked it.
Like, she watches everything, but it's so funny because her favorite housewives, like our Venn diagram of top 5 housewives, there's only one in the middle, and it's Heather Holla Thompson, but she likes the like holier than thou, super regal. So like she likes like Camille, like season 1 Camille she loved. She loves Monique. She loves like her new favorite on Salt Lake City is Meredith. Like she likes the like like I make that face too. Meanwhile, I'm like, give me the messy, like give me the like Dorinda and the Candace,
the
like
standouts.
Yeah, the Mary Cosby. Goodness, she's right up there too now.
Who would be, okay, so you haven't just had like randoms on your live. You've actually had people who've been on Bravo. Like you've had dude from Shahs of Sunset. So who would be your dream live guest?
Oh my gosh. I would love to have anyone. I have like I've been sliding into some people. I'm super delusional. Like Luann, I put the Lou in delusional. Like I just slide into people's DMs like, hey, by the way, you want to come on? I think any Bravo celebrity I'd be super excited for. I kind of feel like the Giggly Squad, like Hannah and Paige, because they kind of got their start doing Instagram lives, it would be so fun to do a live with them. But honestly, I think I would be even more like starstruck if I could get the guys from Watch What Crappens on my live. I would like die.
That's definitely a good one. What about if Jax like inboxed you and unblocked you and then inboxed you and was like, I want to be on your fucking show? What would you say?
Yeah, of course. I'd be like, can you just set up your phone and then you and Brittany make your corn while we're live? You can give us your best corn recipes, like, you know, sure.
Brittany would be so here for that.
Yeah, she'd be like, I love to.
I just add mama's beer cheese on it.
Exactly. What is like one of the coolest connections that you've made, or one of the coolest like gifts that you've received from making your Instagram? Because you're pretty popular. You have like 18K?
Yeah, it's been growing. So I just hit a personal milestone of I have been stalking Loverboy. I have been having the hashtag Loverboy sponsorship for OhNoBravo's cousin, like since I literally had 3 followers, one of which being my cousin, where when I told my cousin I was starting this, she was like, maybe one day you can just get big enough that somehow Kyle sends us Loverboy.
So manifested it. Yeah, I think everyone needs to know that she literally manifested, you know, her dreams, and her dream finally came true.
It did.
So continue.
So it may have been manifestation. It may have just been straight up stalking. Only they know what it was. But the Loverboy slid into my DMs and was like, hey, we're coming out with a spritzer, the variety pack of all of their spritzer flavors. Like, can we send you one? And I'm like, can you? Yes, please. So it was, that was definitely the coolest thing that has happened out of this, for sure.
And also on your lives, I think you do like tarot cards. So tell us about that. Like, what you do, affirmations and things like that. So like, what is that?
It's an affirmation deck. It's called Affirmators, if anybody wants them. I like it because they're a combination of like woo-woo, but they're really funny. Like the things that are on them are funny. So I just, at the end of my Friday lives, I pull an affirmation card. So I shuffle it, and then just whichever one speaks to me or pops out or is on top, I'll pull. And that's kind of just our affirmation of the week, of something to think about. In my real profession, I'm a therapist, so I use affirmation cards just in my work. And so that was just something that I brought to my lives, as like, yeah, we're going to talk about vapid, silly shit, but we all are also living during a global pandemic. So like, let's also think about our mental health. So yeah, it's just a fun thing that's kind of happened from there, of people seem to enjoy it. And it's
that's
just
something
like
that I look forward to. Like, I obviously always share your lives, but like when I actually go back to watch them, I look forward to the affirmations, just because, you know, I haven't really seen anyone really like do that. And like after the chaotic live, it's like you and your wig and your sunglasses talking about Jax eating corn, and then we come down and we have a funny, positive affirmation. So I really look forward to that. I wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. That's so nice to hear.
So continue to do that. So now we are going to reach our Oh No or Bravo segment, a play on your name, because I love to do play on people's names.
Love it.
So what you're going to do is respond oh no, as in no, or bravo, to some situations that we're going to put you in.
Okay.
Do you want to go?
I'm so scared.
With the Kim Zolciak one that you thought of.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm already saying oh no.
Not yet.
Okay. Have Kim Zolciak pick out your wedding ring, or have a Sheba Sheree design wedding dress?
Oh no to one and bravo to one.
Okay, I said oh no reflexively just because that. Oh God. Okay. I think out of that, I would say oh no to She by Sheree, because I don't want to be naked, because spring, summer, fall, like when would I get the dress? And I guess I would say bravo to the ring, because it might be tacky, but I'm sure it would be expensive, hopefully.
She is pretty expensive.
Yeah, I mean, the ring does mean a thing.
It does. Okay, so oh no or bravo. Go to a recording session with Lala, or help Jax and Brittany launch their bear cheese line.
She sounds so disappointed.
Disgusted.
Again, this is a setup, people. Okay. I would say bravo to the recording session because I would hope that maybe DJ James Kennedy could be there and that would be interesting for me. And then I say, oh no to the beer cheese because no, thank you. Going into business with Jax Taylor just seems like a one-way ticket to prison, honestly. Either I'm going in for tax fraud or murder. I'm not sure which.
Oh my God.
You can go.
Okay, so I had to read this one because this is funny. Get a table flipped on you by Teresa, or have Thanksgiving dinner with Aviva's prosthetic leg on your dining room table.
I think that Aviva's leg could be a beautiful tablescape. I'm sure that Kate Chastain could do something really pretty with that. So I'm going to go bravo to the Thanksgiving dinner with the leg and oh no to the table flip. Because that could really, there was a lot of strength in that flip.
I was actually gonna.
You probably
I'm glad
pass
you
out,
went
especially if there's a vase on the table. You can imagine it just like hitting your head. Okay. Oh no, bravo. Have Giselle pick out an outfit for you, or Robin do your taxes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, I feel like one has real life implications. So I'm going to go, oh no to the taxes, bravo to the outfit, and just really hope that no one sees me that day.
Okay, so Aaron has the last one.
Okay, so this one. Go on a world tour with Candy or revive the Chicago Broadway show with Erica.
Oh,
it's a fun.
Okay, thanks for ending with a good one.
A good one, yeah. We didn't want to shit on you.
I would go on the tour. That would be my bravo. And oh no would be Chicago because if I have to be, you guys heard just a little sneak peek of my singing voice. I do not think that would be a successful situation of me being in Chicago.
Chicago. So we are obsessed with, we are obsessed because I'm making Aaron obsessed with the holidays.
Yes.
As I say every time we have this podcast, I was born 2 days before Christmas. So we want to know, some of your, favorite like holiday traditions. What is your least favorite Thanksgiving food?
Ooh, I kind of love it all. I hate when the turkey's dry. I've had some really bad turkeys. So I think that the turkey can make or break.
To get it just right.
Yeah, I think the turkey can make or break the meal.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Mashed potatoes and gravy, which is funny because I always compare Austin to mashed potatoes. So now I'm rethinking this. That's a really bad comparison because I actually love mashed potatoes.
What is a Christmas gift that you would like to receive this year?
I would like a ticket to BravoCon 2021.
Right. Same. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh, I feel like Elf. I always watch every year. I'm excited. I'm going to watch it with my daughters this year for the first time, which will be good. Yeah. I always watch Love Actually, but I feel like every year I watch it. Movie. Yeah, every year I watch it and I'm like, oh, like I find a new thing to be like, oh, like, oh, okay.
That it's like, not a good movie.
Yeah, it's still one that I watch. But then I also, my grandma is obsessed with Hallmark movies, Hallmark Christmas movies. And she always comes to stay with us for like an extended period of time. And so it's fun to watch with her because she watches it like not ironically, like she just loves it. And then me and my family, if you guys haven't found this, Google Hallmark Christmas drinking game. You will be as lit as your Christmas tree by the end. It is so much fun.
So what's your favorite Christmas song?
I love John Lennon's The War Is Over. That one just gives me like such happy holiday vibes whenever I hear it.
Okay, and just tell us one of your favorite Thanksgiving traditions that are either, someone else does or that you do yourself.
Well, I don't want to incriminate myself, so let's say I don't do this personally, but I do enjoy a nice cousin walk before Thanksgiving dinner.
Perfect. Beautiful. What a great tradition that other people do.
Other people do it. It seems like it'd be a really fun time, but I personally, who knows if I do it or not.
Who knows? We'll leave it up to you guys.
Exactly. Well, we want to tell our listeners that we have partnered with The Dip, which is basically a website for TV's biggest fans. They do a lot of things, like they cover a lot of things on Bravo, not just reviews, but like behind the scenes takes, interviews. They're going to be doing some hangouts with some actual Bravo celebrities. We want you guys to sign up for a free 30-day trial with the code BWB Friends. So that's BWB FRIENDS. Check out that website. Check out what they have to come. And, we have some really exciting things coming with them. And we still have a few spots left. If you guys haven't seen our announcement, that the first few people will be receiving a framed script from one of our favorite Housewives moments. So we want to thank you so much for coming on our podcast, and we will definitely have you back. Yay. We had the best time on your live. So where can we find you? Do you have anything special coming up? Do you have a Patreon? Let us know about Miss OhNoBravo.
Thank you for having me on. This was so much fun. And I need to have you guys back on my live too in the new year. So you guys can find me at OhNoBravo on Instagram. I really promote the shit out of myself. I am very Luann adjacent. So all of the stuff's over there. I do have a new Patreon that's kind of where I'm focusing a lot of my energy on at this time. I'm doing a rewatch of Atlanta starting in season 1, which also, do you guys want to come on and recap an episode?
I would love that.
Atlanta, hello.
So I'm doing that right now. I also, for Thanksgiving week, I'm going to be taking a break from my lives just to spend time with my family. But I do have a Patreon episode ready to go with Dr. Bald recapping episode 3 of Salt Lake City. And it was a very good time. He has a lot of spicy takes. So definitely head over there. But yeah, my lives are on Fridays and Sundays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's the comment section is honestly where it's at. They're all saved to my IGTV if you want to watch it at a later date. But tuning in live is an experience, I think.
Who's your next guest, or is it under wraps?
I'm having on this Sunday, I'm having Donnie from Know That Pod on.
We love Donnie.
I will be asking the hard-hitting questions relating to that hot dog and mac and cheese situation that he admitted to.
We love it. And she always, if she has a guest coming up, she always asks you guys, the fans, what you want to know about the guest or any questions for the guest. So you guys definitely check her Instagram out and submit any questions that you may have. And thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for listening. We love you so much. Thank you for getting us to 10K. I guess our new goal is 20K. Yeah. So tell 10,000 of your closest friends, like Ramona, to follow us. And thank you for coming on our journey. Please leave us a 5-star review. We are just finding out how important it is, and we really, really need to get on that. And if you ever disagree or want to confront us for the things that we say here, slide in our DMs, okay? Don't be shy, because we like to hear different points of views. And until next time, it's Kaya, Aaron, and Chelsea signing off. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.